Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. And welcome to the first Cancer zodiac reading that I've done in a very, very long time. I shuffled and cut into six as I always do, and then shuffled again. Yeah, you guys got a bunch of the same cards that the sign of Gemini got, so you could be dealing with a Gemini, some of you, or maybe you have both air, Gemini air, and water, Cancer water in your chart, or maybe you're a Cuspian. That may be the case. These readings I've been thinking about doing them for a while because you guys have been asking me to do them for a while. And also some people have asked me to do, shorter readings, shorter than my weekly general and love reading. And also people have asked me, could I do like more, general public sort of readings as opposed to divine beings maybe or twin flames. And over the weekend I announced that I had completed all my client readings, and so I was going to have time to start getting into some other kind of readings that I have been wanting to do in the teaching videos and stuff. And then so I was thinking about this and bouncing the idea around, and then this morning somebody commented on the general weekly reading video that I had done that they hadn't been to my channel in a year because they no longer in that period considered themselves on the twin flame journey, and so they felt like maybe they weren't welcome anymore if you're not on it. And I never wanted anyone to feel that way, because my channel, I thought I had made clear, was more so for the individual, like the divine being themselves, whether they're partnered or not, to learn about ourselves and to understand what the journey is about, and maybe get into some of the history and where you can find information yourself, the ancient texts that I've read, and then maybe some that we discover along the way that I haven't read either, sharing those, learning about crystals. I mean, this is all the kind of stuff that we've done on my channel since the very beginning, since I started it the first day, March 10th, 2016. That I thought was to foster an individual. I didn't realize that people were perceiving my channel to be specific to couples or partnership. So I was a little taken aback, but I had to express how much I appreciated the comment, and then that was what sensed it. I'm like, I got to start doing this now, and I got to clarify that. So I'm committed to doing these zodiacal or astrological readings. And I started with Aries. I'm going in order. So I've done Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, and I'm doing Cancer, and then I'm probably going to take a break for a little while and get to another 4 and then get to the last 4. So if you don't see your sun sign just yet, I mean, obviously Cancer, you guys are going to see yours, but somebody else that may be watching a Cancer video, it is coming, I promise you. And I plan to, do them pretty close together. I have no plans to like stagger anything like a week later so the rest come out, or I'm going to do them all within the next day or so. So hopefully they'll all be up by tonight. I have no problems uploading anything and all that kind of stuff. So I won't be shuffling live in these videos. For those who are new and you're like, oh, the cards are already out, I promise you I've been shuffling live for years, like I said, and cutting into 6 and shuffling again. And so if you want to see me do that and see me do a reading that's completely off the cuff, and even go on for an hour off the top of my head, you can look at my one of my other readings, my more typical readings, my general weekly or love reading. But for these, I'm going to be having the cards out. So in the future, they'll be shorter because you won't have to hear me talk about this or explain it. You guys will know what it is I'm doing and why. All right, so on that note, let's get into this one. So I'm going to be using 4 cards. One is like representative of your own energy, like your own general energy. This one is the like surrounding energy, so friends and family members around you. This is your work, finance, and this is your love, romance. Using a couple of oracle decks too. I'm sure as we get into it and I start doing these more often, and we'll change it up. I got a million decks in my drawer, some of which I've never even used or haven't used in forever. So we're going to get those out and start, getting oracle messages from them. But I'm beginning here, or your overall energy rather, is manifestation power. Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired income. And Gemini had the same exact overall energy. Hashtag creepy deck, your overall energy is children. And for me, this is like an empress kind of card. Represents newness, new ideas, creativity, possibly actual children, growth, expansion, tending to something, right? Putting effort into something. It's like over the long term. Angels of abundance. Dreams of abundance. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you to manifest your desires into reality. And this is a very Piscean energy for me. If you're not involved with an air sign, I'm also getting, it's very possible that some of you guys are involved with another water sign, and maybe most specifically, like I said, a Pisces, between this dreams of abundance and this moon, or a Scorpio, because in traditional practice of the tarot, the Queen of Cups represents the sign of Scorpio as the fixed sign. The Queen is connected to the fixed sign of a given element. So then we also have an overall energy of the Emperor in reversed. And so the Emperor represents the planet Mars, which is also a ruler of the sign of Scorpio. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit. Get us a better view. And the Emperor in reverse is actually very, very Cancerian or water signish, because it's about like giving more, considering your heart more so than your intellect and wisdom. So it's being far more water sign than air sign. If you do have both of those elements in your chart, you're leaning toward the water side with this Emperor in reverse. So giving more credence to what your heart tells you to do. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing necessarily. But of course, where and when there's an opportunity to use both and have some balance instead, let's try to do that. So we're going to begin with the Four of Wands, which is again a card that represents your energy. It is in reverse, but the Four of Wands is the Four of Wands. This may mean that some sort of surprise is coming to your life, or you're working on projects in your home, you're getting a new home. I was going to say, with it in reverse, the surprise or the grandeur of whatever it represents might not be as big, and or it might be slightly delayed. But again, the Four of Wands is a card of commitment, cohabitation, moving in together. It just represents like remodeling your house or moving, and projects that you're working on, that you're happy to be working on, that you're happy to be completing. It's things that bring you happiness and joy. Deepening a commitment with somebody, maybe a friend, even if it's a friend. Making improvements at the office. There's favor upon you. Now, it's funny. When I talked about it's better to have balance, I wasn't even looking at this Two of Pentacles here. Now this does represent, like I said, the surrounding energy, so it's more so about your friends and or family, but two is also about partnership, so it can be in some sort of, team effort that you have going on that you need to exercise balance too, and or possibly a relationship, because there's water in this card. Right back here, there's like waves and boats that are like, although it's rocky, it doesn't really look like rough seas. Looks kind of fun, like a roller coaster. So yeah, I think you got to try to find time for fun and seriousness is what this is trying to say to you. And it may involve partnerships. So you may have some friends that are, doing too much as well and need to find balance. And maybe you want to coax them to, spend some time being social. Maybe you have a wedding to attend or some sort of party or event, and they'll be happy to go with you. Or you may have to like give it to some friend straight and, tell them that they need to exercise some discipline in some area in their life, like, balance their finances, or maybe they party too much and you suggest that they balance that out in work. And, friends can talk to each other and tell each other the honest truth like that. So you may, again, this can be a romantic partner too, and maybe a fellow water sign. Friend, family member, romantic partner is what I'm getting. You may have some sort of party to attend, and if you are invited to something, go. Go. I'm getting ahead, but I'm going to say because of the moon in reverse is also a card that says that you're being like particularly emotional and potentially volatile. I talked to Gemini about this. They had the moon too. It was in a different placement, but same thing. I explained to them how it can cause you, to go left and pop off. And our moon was in reverse. I mean, was upright rather. And this one is in reverse. But the moon is pretty much the same kind of energy in reverse and upright too. And with the exception of the intuition, like you may be paying more attention to, your heart and your emotions, and they may be all over the place rather than your intuition. So you want to try to like regroup and focus. And if you're looking for love, that's another reason to go ahead and go to a social event that you have an opportunity to go to, and you may meet somebody there. If you're already coupled and you find yourself feeling imbalanced and potentially volatile, you maybe want to fall back for a little while and take a break. Queen of Cups upright with relation to your work and finances is very, very positive. If you're looking for employment or to further yourself, you may get something like a job that you could fall in love with, right? Or you love being there. You're not leaving this job. There could be an actual like middle-aged or older woman at your job this week and next week that helps to facilitate, furthering you somehow. She's super kind and compassionate and nurturing, maybe even motherly, matronly, and she can help to push you along, help you to further your career, or at least bring some sort of improvements over the next week or two to your job. In general, work and finances are okay, and maybe that's why you're in a position to counsel or advise somebody else on their need to maybe try to balance things a little bit better. Yeah, turning over this advice card reminded me that I didn't mention the part about distrust with the moon. You may feel that there's something amiss. Something's up. Definitely with the moon, we don't have all the information. Things are hidden. Maybe intentionally. Somebody's lying to us. And it looks like with the masculine, that may be the case. Now, it doesn't mean necessarily someone's lying to you. You could be the one wearing some sort of false mask in a relationship, maybe most specifically in a romantic relationship with the moon in this placement of love and romance. And with the deception showing up for your romance oracle card. Someone's wearing a false self mask in this relationship. But again, if you want to hold on to the relationship, when you discover that, may not be the time to discuss it, because you may pop off. You know, if this is representative of you, this moon and this love position, if this is your energy, you may go off. If it's your partner, they may go off on you and not even give you a chance to like explain yourself. But the feminine, isn't that funny? Opposite deception, trust. Feminine being guided to have some faith. And that, because that's another thing about the moon. Things aren't always what they appear. And actually, particularly now, because Neptune, ruler of the sign of Pisces, is currently retrograde in the sign of Pisces. And so there are a lot of illusions. We got to try to differentiate, and discern reality versus illusion. With this moon in reverse, we could be thinking something, that we're seeing something accurately, and again, because information is hidden, maybe the universe hid it. Maybe it's not hidden by the 3D. Maybe we're just not meant to know. There's information we don't have, and because of that, we're becoming confused. So if that happens too, you may want to take a step back, and clear your head before you try to broach the situation, particularly if you want to salvage or save a relationship. This situation is calling for you to have faith. From your Angels of Abundance card, masculine to you, raise or promotion. Yeah, again, this energy of the Queen of Cups, and maybe an actual female, maybe even an actual direct water sign, helping you to facilitate some sort of growth in your work. Congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. And actually, this can also be in other areas of your life, like, growth, expansion, raise, promotion. Could be connected to ascension too, and increased psychic ability. For the feminine. Abundance mindset. In a way, this can be connected to trust, because it's trust in yourself and the universe, and turning things around to a more positive perspective, one of faith rather than one of lack. If you think of your abundance as something that happens in the future, then it will always be one day away from you. See, feel, think, and speak of abundance as something that you already have in the present moment, and that is what you'll experience. Speaking of deception and distrust, gossip for the masculine. Very, for me, 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands kind of card. Now, the way I read the 5 of Wands is typically something, a relation. If it's not inner conflict, like one is conflicted, then it's close friends or family with whom you're having the conflict. So maybe, again, something going on here. There's an imbalance in a friendship or a familial relationship or even a romantic relationship. Or something at work. So maybe something's going on at work, and this woman is a protector, right? She sort of gives you cover. Again, like very motherly, very nurturing. Something off. I never mentioned the 5 of Swords. So that's the 5 of Wands, as opposed to the 5 of Swords for me, which can be about conflicts with anyone. It can also be about being, again, conflicted and needing to change your perspective and reorganize your thoughts. And because Swords and air is heavily about our thoughts and ideas and things and the words that we speak over ourselves and think over ourselves. So there may be something that you need to work on too. Possibly connected to, again, an imbalance in a relationship. From the Angel Therapy cards, lastly to the masculine, Indigo. The person that you're inquiring about is an Indigo, meaning a highly sensitive, natural born leader, highly sensitive, like I described about the moon. And so maybe this is telling you the reason you guys are sort of butting heads right now is because they and or you are in a particularly increased space of psychic awareness. Maybe due to promotion, expansion, ascension in your psychic gifts. And so this is explaining to you why you're feeling how you are. And again, letting you know maybe you should pause, fall back, take a break, or there's a reason why this is happening. Like it's like when women, when we're imbalanced that once a month, and maybe all of a sudden we're flying off the handle and going off on people that we otherwise care about. And then we go, oh, we go into the bathroom and then it's like, oh, now I know why I had that sort of attitude. That's what I'm trying to get at here. It's like, oh, and now I understand I'm going through, these spiritual and emotional changes. And so that's why I'm so sensitive right now. Wallflower from the hashtag Creepy Deck to the feminine for me is about free will choice. So some sort of decision will have to be made. Maybe again, whether to trust or not. Whether to use her intellect and wisdom or her heart or both. Whether to attend a social event or not. Sit it out or dance. We have free will. And lastly, for the feminine, speaking of sitting it out or dancing, singing and dancing. So the universe says you should dance. If you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. Express yourself and awaken your psychic senses through the magical power of music and movement. So this can be actual music, any genre of music. Maybe this is drumming, right? Going to a drum circle. Maybe this is some sort of weather dance to bring on rain, bring on sunshine. Perhaps this is some sort of spiritual, interpretive, cultural dance that you could be doing, or singing, chanting. This could be listening to binaural tones for your meditation so you can get clarity or calm down if you find yourself again all hopped up, to release negative energy or to infuse yourself with positive energy. It could be listening to guided meditation or like the bowls. I'm seeing somebody the bowls too. There's also something called sound therapy. I experienced only once myself. Yeah, those are things I'm feeling for the feminine to help you to sort of, again, get back to yourself when you're experiencing a moment of imbalance. Thank you guys again for joining, watching. Ooh, goodness. I had never told you what the overall energy was for the romance angels. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. This may, be in tandem also with, again, deception and gossip. Maybe there is something that, one or the other or both can't trust, or someone. But again, you're going to want to get to a place where you're in a space where you're able to actually discern and think, and rather than pop off without the information that you need or the temperament that you need to deal with this situation. Now, on that note, I hope you guys have enjoyed the bi-weekly reading. I'll be back with another one in 2 weeks. Thank you again for liking, sharing, subscribing to my channel, and for being here with me. Namaste.